You know, it's funny when you get accused of being a grifter. If you actually look at the numbers, the things that really are generating traction for the channel are Falling Order Aaron, Jenna, and Scoville. Now, I try to be generous to Jenna. Listen, Jenna's a grifter. She's a liar. She's a manipulator. She's a cult leader. However, two things can be true. She's also a victim, as is technically Reese. However, these are very weird cases of victims who, by their own volition, they're not being forced, not being coerced in any real way, decided to do really evil things. You know, it is what it is. It's disappointing. I was hoping Jenna was going to help us expose Aaron, but she decided to go back to the dark side. So I don't like bundling all these people together, but generically speaking, they're all really bad. Now I know a lot of people keep putting in the comment section, especially the Nora fans, saying, "You need to be nice to Nora. You need to be good to Nora. Stop talking about Nora." I mean, you can praise Nora. You can talk about Nora, but only praise Nora. Like, listen, Nora doesn't really generate me that much money, right? But she, well, first of all, she just gets so many things wrong. So if you hate Aaron, and believe me, I do hate Aaron. Aaron tried to destroy this channel. He put a copyright strike a while ago. He is a bad guy. He is a bad guy. So let me just quote Shine, who was a bad boy artist who worked for P. Diddy. To put him mildly, his past is very twisted. I believe he's Jewish now. He's a politician. He's actually a very interesting guy. But back in the day, he was doing some questionable things. But one of the weird things he does is he was loyal to Puffy and went to jail. And he recently spoke out a while ago, and he said something like, "Let us be clear. This man and I are not friends." Very eloquent statement. So he wasn't moralizing or even getting revenge. He was just saying, let's be clear. He is a villain. I did some bad things. I went to jail and I moved on. Aaron will always be one of the worst people here. Now, arguably, Scoville is a little bit worse because Scoville did outright, well, no nice way of putting it, hacked a young girl. Very disturbing on many levels. And then he tried to be clever and get away with it, but he actually went to jail not for that, but because he kept harassing the victim. Right? The police weren't even going to arrest him for that, but it's like he kept harassing the victim. It's like, okay, now you got to go away. And he's been trying to mythologize it as it was just young love. Oh, we were both in love. So it was statutory. Yeah. I mean, I want to be clear and honest that Nora is not at that level of evil. But that said, her defense of recent things are just really mind blowingly stupid. There's a whole other level of insanity. But let me just do the factual stuff first. So, and this is what I did learn from Nora. I will give her credit. Apparently, what DOA is facing is two court cases. Two, count them two. The thing he got arrested for, it's a little strange. It's one court case. He has several charges on that court case. I will get more into the legal commentary in another video. That's more the minutia stuff. Be honest, that might be a little bit more boring. Let's get to the more juicy stuff where Nora rightly got criticized by Aaron for apparently, and again, I did not hear her say this, so I want to be careful. This is an allegation. But knowing Nora, she probably did do it. So apparently, in the early part of her commentary, because again, it was a little weird. Apparently, Aaron was the only one live streaming it. So Nora, being lazy, was like, oh, "Okay, well, I'm forced to take from the Aaron stream." No, Nora, you could just stand back, maybe do some basic research. Right now, my research here is also very. Gotta be careful. I've done some journalism work, done a lot of work in legal philosophy, like John Rawls, Nozick, things like that. Legal philosophy is irrelevant. One of the useful things you learn in legal philosophy is logic. Nora was mocking Aaron for not knowing what bail was. I'm sure Aaron probably doesn't know what bail is. So Aaron was alleging that Nora thought DOA was arrested for, wait for it, putting up posters. Yeah, apparently she thought, oh, he's being arrested for putting up posters. Clearly, California has become a Trump dictatorship. We must stand together. You, the revolutionary proletariat, I will lead you. I am Lenin, Nora, Trotsky. I will lead you. You are my troop. Yada, 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 yada. So, yeah, legal eagle here thought putting up the posters was no, no. There was even video footage when he got arrested. He asked them, what am I getting arrested for? And apparently the cops either lied or got it wrong. They said, well, it's assault with a deadly weapon. It's not technically assault with a deadly weapon. It's assault with a weapon that can do harm. So a lot of people are getting it wrong the first go. I got it a little bit wrong. Mel got it a little bit wrong. What I find amusing is neither one of you is a legal expert. I'm sure Aaron is very ignorant of the law in many, many ways. What I am also sure of is you are very ignorant of the law in many ways. Now, I've said many times before, my own legal experience is more limited, but it's not totally worthless. Again, studying legal philosophy or going to a few court cases as a journalist, you do know a few things. You do know a few fundamental facts, and logic is valuable. And I'm not going to spend too much more time on her DOA legal commentary because it was all kinds of garbage. What I found amusing was the tangent she went on to economics and berating L. Ron Hubbard, who I'm not defending. However, and this is the major, well, double tragedy with Nora. One is she desperately wants to become a Hollywood celebrity. That is very clear. And but she's not totally stupid. She knows that ain't gonna happen. That's a 1 in a million chance. But she's still gonna go for it because apparently we're all delusional and she's really Taylor Swift. And speaking of Miss Swift, she decided to spill some tea, which was not spilling tea, that guys, I was almost in the CD business. And I will let you in on a secret. You know those lectures that I listened to in the Sea Org, which I thought were the God's words, because I really believed for a time, but now I'm lying that I never believed? Yes, those lectures that cost $800? It's disgusting, it's disturbing. You know the actual cost me making a CD with my business partner? You know what it really costs? It costs 35 cents. Okay, this is decades ago. It probably is more costly now, probably like 50 cents or something. Right, Nora. Thank you. Thank you for not telling us anything. I think we all know the physical price of the actual making of a CD is much lower than, say, 13, 15, 17, $20. So, yeah, you wonder yourself, hey, if I go to the local store for Miss Swift, Miss Taylor Swift, why I gotta pay $25? It's like the MCU. Like, yeah, the actual physical DVD probably costs, what, 70 cents. So why am I paying $30? Why am I paying $25? Yeah, it's called value that's added to the product. Now, this is actually a controversial thing in economics because they're trying to be physicists. They want to have objective laws. So this doesn't make any sense. Like, wait, objectively, it only costs 70 cents. Why is anyone paying $20, $30 for this? Or even $5, right? Because I have to be, actually mindful with my money. I can't even pay full price. When's the last time I paid full price for a DVD or whatever? It's been a long time. I usually have to go through the bins, right? We all know those bins. Like you can get it for $3 or $4. That's what I got to do. And I'm a film guy. I want to be in the film industry. I want to be in Hollywood. But hey, I can't afford even the full price for the actual DVD, right? It is what it is. Well, yeah, stupid. We all know what's happening. You're adding value through name recognition. The celebrity or the name brand is what gives it value. You're paying $10, $20 for Elron or Aristotle or Taylor Swift because of the name recognition, right? You could get it for free. A lot of Scientology is free. It's no longer even protected by copyright. You can just get Elron for free, but you're still willing to pay for an official edition because the editor or the translator or even Elron brings more added value, right? Or Taylor or Aristotle. I frankly think Taylor is the better philosopher than Aristotle because Aristotle is a mess trying to justify slavery, as is Elron. The point is they're adding something through their intelligence. That's their contribution. What are you, Nora, contributing? Because the most I got out of it is she had this old beef with this Rose woman in Scientology. She went, oh, this Rose woman called me up and yelled at me. How dare you? You're yelling at Nora. I'm Nora. I'm Nora McDonald. I'm yeah. You're not special. If you want money for your contributions, it's not easy. It's brutal. You got to do what Taylor does. She's a beautiful woman. She sings very well. Okay, become a very talented singer. I don't think that's going to happen. Or be like Aristotle. Again, I don't like these philosophers, but they are philosophers, so maybe do a great philosophy. Not saying it's a quote morally good. It's just great in terms of having an impact. Maybe do that. No, she's not going to do that either. Well, what are you doing? Because you're like big discovery, like, hey guys, it costs actually like a quarter to make a CD. We knew that already. And your issue with this Rose woman, no one cares. No one cares. The only people who care are like 5 of your super fans. Maybe do something productive, study logic or study the law seriously, which is what I'm trying to do, and bring value to the contributions that you're going to do online or on paper or wherever. Whereas you just keep, like, I'm going to nickname her the Red Badger. Oh, the Rose. My war with the Rose. Oh, I'm angry, Nora. You need to be angry too with Nora. Like, no one cares. Outside of your 5 psycho fans, no one cares about this. Move on to a more interesting, productive topic. That's my advice to you.